Did you understand why the dragon Vermithor accept Hughammer to ride him in House of the Dragon? And why Silverwing accept Ulf as a rider? A guy who was very scared and even stepped in her eggs? And what about Jace, Rhaenyra's son? Did you notice that he doesn't want to fight with his mother anymore? The last scene of this episode is very symbolic. There's a lot of more secrets, details and reference in this episode 7 of House of the Dragon, and I will explain about everything in this video. If you wanna know, let's go! Hello everyone who watching this beautiful channel, my name is João Victor and I'm back to talk about House of the Dragon, this episode 7 that ended in a very good way to prepare everything to the last fight of this season. Rhaenyra now has many dragons and becomes the strongest person in this battle. Let's go to explain about everything, but first don't forget to check the like in this video, it helps me a lot. And if you want more content about House of the Dragon and this finale that is coming, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's go to the video. Yeah, the season 2 of this show is now close to the end. There's only one more episode, and this episode 7 is full of reference. Also full of details that can prepare us to the last one. And talking about it, let's go to the first one that refers to Rhaenyra, because in this episode we see that Rhaenyra got an advantage over the Greens, but Rhaenyra is taking a risk, a serious risk. And what does that mean? The fact that she put several bastards and common folks to ride dragons in a time like the one the show takes place in represents a risk for her, a risk of being betrayed. This is because at the time the show is set, richer people and people from noble families tends to be more loyal, because they have something to lose, which is their honor. A person from a noble family tends not to betray, because they don't want to tarnish their family's honor. But the common folk have nothing to lose, and this is the risk that Rhaenyra is taking. People like these bastards she takes to Dragonstone, if they betray Rhaenyra's cause, will lose nothing. They have no family honor to defend, so it's risky. Yeah, we hope no one betrays her, because it's very good to see the new dragons working for her side. But let's talk about it. These new dragons, Silverwing and the first one, Vermithor. Let's talk about why Vermithor allowed Hughammer. Yeah, why he killed everyone in there and this guy he didn't kill. What is special about this guy? Yeah, everyone knows that he's a Targaryen bastard. That's the main reason this dragon accepts him. But there's more that this episode already revealed. In this episode we see Hugh revealing that he's the bastard of Rhaenyra Targaryen, the daughter of King Jaehaerys. And if you don't remember, King Jaehaerys that we see in the very first episode of this show was the last Vermithor's rider, so his grandson, one of many, is Hughammer, this guy. So the best explanation for this event in this episode 7 is that Vermithor is taking Jaehaerys' successor. He's from the same family and the dragon filled it. Basically the dragon was hidden for several years, and the first guy who tried to claim him was the grandson of his former rider, so he felt at home. That's the best explanation about Vermithor. But let's go to the next one, because we have to explain about Silverwing. Why Silverwing allowed Ulf? Because this case is much more special. We are talking about a guy who appeared in the cave out of nowhere and was still afraid. He accepted his death. Also, he even stepped on the dragon's eggs. How did this dragon still accept him? The explanation to Ulf is so similar to Hughammer, because by the informations from this season we can understand that Ulf is the son of Balon Targaryen, and Balon is the son of Alicent Targaryen, who was the former rider of Silverwing. Also, Alicent was Jaehaerys' wife, the Vermithor's rider. So Vermithor and Silverwing have always lived close together. Basically, after Alicent's death, Silverwing went to the cave and stayed there without contact with the human. Ulf was the first to have contact, even if unintentionally, and she realized that he is the grandson of her former rider and decided to accept him as the rider. Basically, Vermithor and Silverwing, who were carrying the couple Jaehaerys and Alicent, are now carrying their grandchildren. That's the best explanation about Ulf and Hughammer. Also, there's the Targaryen blood in their veins, but there we go to the next detail. Let's talk about another thing from this episode. Let's talk about the Greens, because there's a very important relationship in this episode. I'm talking about Larys and Aegon, because they are so close and Larys wants Aegon back. Yeah, by this scene and others, Larys shows a lot that he wants to encourage Aegon to have the fastest possible recovery. He's asking the Maester to always get Aegon out of bed and encourage him to walk. Also, in the beginning of the episode we see this conversation conversation with Jasper, and here he makes sure that the information about Sea Smoke is hidden from Aemond. He's clearly making Aemond's life even more difficult because he wants Aegon back. And why he wants Aegon back? Because Aegon used to listen to him, to respect him. Aegon is easy to manipulate, but Aemond is not. He doesn't give him space and confronts him. So he wants Aemond out and Aegon back. He's trying to do it. There's a very important detail to the future, basically for the third season, this relation between Larys and Aegon. Go put in the comments what you think about it, but let's go back to the Blacks. Let's talk about the next detail. This one is about Damon and Rhaenyra, because Damon is returning to Rhaenyra. Yeah, he's not returning physically, but returning to want to serve Rhaenyra's cause. And this hallucination scene with Viserys makes that very clear. We see Viserys offering the crown, and the scene ends, and Damon didn't take it. It's basically a reference that Damon comes to the conclusion that he doesn't need it. And now he will fight hard and return to help Rhaenyra. Basically, this episode also makes him to get some new advantage with some Riverland lords helping them. Yeah, thank Lord that this Damon's hallucination season has ended and he's focused on the right side using his dragon, Caraxes. I'm very excited to see it, Caraxes with Sea Smoke and Cyrex, Vermitor and Silverwing. A lot of dragons to the black side, but there's also a problem in the black side because the last scene show us some problem inside Rhaenyra's plane, someone who is against her. And I'm talking about Jace, because Jace is against his mother. And I'm not only talking about the fight scenes between them in the beginning of the episode, I'm talking about the last scene, this scene, because here we have a symbolic scene that shows how Jace does not approve of Rhaenyra's plans and does not want to help her, because in this scene we don't have Jace and his dragon, Vermax. We only have Cyrex, Vermitor and Silverwing in the castle. I know it's also missing Bela's dragon, Adam's dragon, and Jace is in the last episode trailer, but this scene is very symbolic, showing Jace does not approve Rhaenyra's plan. And also, talking about this, the reason behind this is because Rhaenyra putting bastards to ride dragons could be a problem to Jace's plans to be at the throne in the future. People may question him as an heir. Yeah, there's a problem inside this family, but it's not a bigger problem than inside the Greens, because the Green family is full of problems. But let's keep talking about the Rhaenyra side, because there's some vulnerability that could be explored in the next episode. I'm talking about Rhaenyra, because Rhaenyra is running everything so fast. Yeah, in this episode we see how she's acting in a rush. At the beginning, she barely assimilates the fact that Adam is riding Sea Smoke. She ignores it and focuses on the bastards to ride the dragon. And also, the bastards barely arrived at Dragonstone, and Rhaenyra runs so fast to try to claim Vermitor. And when Hugh and Ulf claim their dragons, she doesn't even give them time to breathe and already follows through with the strategy of sending Silverwing to King's Landing as a bait to Aemond to kill Aemond and Vhagar. A proof that everything happens very quickly is that in the last scene, her face is still dirty. She did everything in this episode very quickly, and I believe that everything happened in less than a day. Yeah, she is in a big hurry, and this could get in her way. Could be a vulnerability. And talking about it, also in the last scene of the episode, we see some vulnerability coming from the Greens. Yeah, let's talk about the Greens disorganized, because in the end of the episode, we see the Council of the Greens in the middle of a war in the Red Keep, talking about their planes, but there's no security there. When the dragon arrives in the city, not even the Scorpion is prepared to fight it. They take forever to prepare the defense. It will give the dragon time to destroy everything. Also, Vhagar stays out of the town, and Aemond needs to take a horse to find his dragon. If they wanted to make a surprise attack, they just had to do it, and they were supposed to win it, even killing Aemond. Like, Silverwing's like a Pacific dragon. The pretension is just use Silverwing as a bait, but the Blacks lost a very big opportunity here to end the war. Yeah, but let's go back to the Blacks, Rhaenyra's side, because there's another dragon that in the last episode could appear and help Rhaenyra. Let's talk about Rhaena and Shipstealer, the dragon that probably is coming in the last episode. In this scene, we see that she's leaving the house Arryn with Rhaenyra's youngest children to follow the plane to take them safely to Pentos. But she abandons everything, Rhaenyra's children, the guards, and try to find the dragon that lives in the valley, which was mentioned in the previous episode. And we know that Rhaena has this ambition to claim a dragon. We see that this dragon used to kill some sheep in this valley, so probably this is Shipstealer that they are changing the story from the books, giving him to Rhaena, but there's consequences from this act. And it refers to Rhaenyra's children, and I also need to talk about it. Rhaenyra's children in danger. Yeah, Rhaenyra's act in this episode causes a problem to Rhaenyra's youngest sons. Now Viserys and Aegon are now being taken to Pentos alone. Obviously they have the guards, but they are all vulnerable now, and this connects to the story from the books. I won't give a spoiler. Like in the last episode, we will see she's finally getting a dragon, but she's getting a new problem to solve. This could generate a cliffhanger to the next season, to season 3. The sad news is that the season 3 probably will be out in 2026. Yeah, that's the problem. But go put in the comments what you think about it. Which detail do you think is the best about this last episode? Don't forget to check the like if you liked this video. It helps me a lot. And if you want more content about House of the Dragon, subscribe to the channel. As I used to say in every video, thank you for your patience with my English. I will keep trying to improve it, and I'll be back soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.